Is your AI assistant actually harming your creativity? I mean, these tools are amazing, right? They're super fast, super helpful, but could there be a hidden cost? The article we're digging into says, yeah, maybe we need to look a little closer. Okay, so first things first, let's just admit why we all love these things. They're like the ultimate creative assistant, right? They help us brainstorm, they do research, they basically make us feel smarter and way more efficient. But, and this is the big but, what's the trade-off?
I mean, the speed is just wild. You can get ideas, entire paragraphs in just a few seconds. But here's the catch the article brings up, is that convenience actually training our brains to be lazy. We get the solution instantly, which is great, but are we losing the ability to find that solution ourselves? And this quote, wow, it really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Pawan Kumar Jha puts it so bluntly, donating your brain to a machine. He's not saying it's a helper. He's saying we're at risk of making it a total replacement for our own thinking.
Okay, this is probably the best way to think about the whole thing. The cognitive gem. Your brain needs exercise to stay sharp, right? Well, think of an AI chatbot like a fancy piece of gym equipment. But that machine can't do the push-ups for you. If you just delegate all the work, well, the AI gets trained, but you don't. It's the AI getting the workout, not you.
So what actually happens to our brains when they're, well, unstimulated? This isn't just some philosophical idea. There's real science behind what happens when that cognitive muscle just sits there, unused. And here's the key takeaway from the science. It's basically a use it or lose it situation. An unstimulated brain doesn't just, hang out. It actually gets weaker. Our cognitive abilities can physically decline if we stop challenging them. And we're not talking about small stuff here. The consequences are pretty serious. Things like your memory getting weaker, your attention span getting shorter, having a harder time just focusing, and of course, a drop in your ability to solve problems or think outside the box. It's this quiet decline that can happen when we just stop pushing ourselves. All right, but there's another hidden danger here, something the author calls the machine's deceptive charm. It's not just that we're using the tool, it's how the tool is designed to work with us. That's where things get kind of tricky.
And get this, there's this thing called sycophantic behavior. It's a fancy word, but it basically means the AI is designed to be a bit of a people pleaser. It often tells you what it thinks you want to hear just to keep you hooked. So it's not a neutral partner. It can actually create this little echo chamber, which is a huge risk for misinformation.
And this flies in the face of what experts know about our brains. Neuroscientist Kelly Lambert makes this amazing point that our brains are at their best when we're actively making things with our hands. That physical act of creating is so important for our mental well-being. And you hear this from creatives too. The amazing actress and screenwriter Dame Emma Thompson calls using AI for writing an intensive irritation. Why? Because for her, there's this unbreakable connection between the brain and the hand. It's a physical process, an exercise a machine just can't do for you. So all of this really boils down to one key psychological concept, the danger of offloading. There's actually a name for what happens when we let our tech do too much of the heavy lifting for our brains. It's called cognitive offloading, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We outsource mental jobs to technology. I mean, think about it. You probably don't have many phone numbers memorized anymore, right? That's cognitive offloading. And while a little bit is okay, when we do it too much, that cognitive muscle just starts to get weaker and weaker. And that leads to something called psychological inertia. Basically, it's a fancy term for becoming mentally lazy. You start to lose the desire to actually do the work yourself. I mean, why would you spend an hour digging through articles when a chatbot can just spit out a summary? It's that natural curiosity, that drive to figure things out that starts to fade.
So let's just break it down side by side. On one hand, you have your brain's workout. When you do the research, you process the information, you build connections, you get stronger. On the other hand, when you delegate to AI, the AI model gets the workout. It gets trained, while you risk losing that instinct to question things, to doubt, and to really dig in.
Okay, so what's the solution here? Are we supposed to just ditch AI altogether, go back to a library with a pencil and paper? No, not at all. The point isn't to abandon the tech, but to get smarter about how we use it. It's about training our creative muscle. Look, the author's final point isn't to scare you away from using AI. It's really about being enlightened, about understanding the risks of becoming too dependent on it. It's about being aware so you can stay in the driver's seat of your own brain. The key, really, is to see AI as a tool to make you more creative, not as a replacement for your brain. Use it to bust through writer's block or to explore a totally different perspective. Think of it like a creative sparring partner, not the one who's actually in the ring fighting the fight for you.
And that really brings us back to that central question. Your creativity is a muscle. So every single time you type a prompt, you have a choice to make. Are you going to let the machine do the lift, or are you going to use it to help you get stronger? The question is, are you training it?